Snake, your number one priority in this mission is rescuing Sokolov. Eva said he is in the lab, so head over there.
Right.
Do you remember how to get to the lab?
You mean what Eva told me?
Yes.
Of course I do.
All right, repeat it for me.
Major, do you think I'd forget something like that?
Let's hear it then.
First, I head toward the back of this cave.
Hmm.
And then I'll come to an aqueduct.
And then?
And then...
All right, let's go over this one more time. Follow the cave to the end and you'll come out in an aqueduct surrounded by mangrove. Follow the aqueduct to the north and you should arrive at a warehouse. Climb out of the water and enter the warehouse. After you've infiltrated the warehouse, pass through it to the north. Then you'll emerge in the woods again. The lab will be directly to the north. Are we clear now?
Yeah.
Snake?
I got it. Basically, I just head north, right?
Ugh.
Pass through that area to the north and you'll reach the aqueduct. But be careful. The aqueduct is patrolled by flying platforms.
Flying platforms?
Soldiers hovering in the air.
I've heard stories, but...
They've already been implemented over here. It goes to show that America isn't number one in everything.
Eva, where are you now?
I told you, didn't I? I'm right near the Colonel.
Pretty weak answer, if you ask me.
I suppose you're right.
Eva...
Snake, I'm under orders to cooperate with you, but that doesn't mean I have to tell you everything I know. I would assume the same applies to you, too.
Active sonar sends out a special type of sound wave whenever you press the left stick. It uses the echo from those waves to calculate and display the position of nearby objects. Unlike the motion detector, it'll show you objects that aren't moving. But because you're blasting out sound waves, there's a risk that the noise will alert enemies and animals to your presence. Be careful about when and where you use it. Wearing woodland face paint. The woodland paint is most effective in forest environments. It'll work best if you use it when infiltrating forest areas. You're on a solo sneaking mission. Your success is based on your ability to survive. That's where the survival viewer comes in. The survival viewer contains everything you need to survive out in the field. Use camouflage.
When you get shot, you'll sometimes suffer a gunshot wound. The chance of suffering a serious injury is especially high at close range. When you have a gunshot wound, your maximum life will decrease depending on its severity. Gunshot wounds will heal naturally over time, but if you want it to heal faster, go into Cure in the survival viewer and treat it.
Pretty tasty. Ah, pretty tasty. Ah, hey, this works.
I see you found your way to the aqueduct. If you follow it to the north, you'll come to a warehouse used for transporting supplies. Pass through the warehouse, and you'll come out into a forest. The lab where Sokolov is being held is directly to the north of that forest, so head north.
I see you've caught a Thai cobra. The Thai cobra is a large venomous snake that carries an extremely potent neurotoxin. Be careful not to get bitten. If you do get bitten, go into the survival viewer right away and use Cure to give yourself a serum injection. The Thai cobra originally comes from Indochina, Thailand, and southern China. The ones in that area were probably imported as pets and research subjects before they escaped and turned feral.
Not as food?
Come again?
They weren't imported as food.
They're not for eating.
So they don't taste good then?
That's not my point. It's not a matter of whether they taste good or not. People don't raise snakes for food, period.
Okay. So you're saying they might be good to eat, right?
Only one way to find out.
You say they have flying platforms out there? Flying platforms are a type of personal VTOL aircraft.
They were working on those in America too, weren't they?
Yeah, back in the 50s. They were supposedly going to be used for scouting and patrol missions, as well as to spot for artillery units and transport troops into rough territory. They even got an initial prototype off the ground in 1955. But the thing wasn't fast enough, and there were problems with getting it to stop and turn in midair, so they ended up scrapping the project. The ones you see there were built by the Soviets after they got their hands on the American design plans. The American model used a pair of contra-rotating rotors to generate lift, but those Soviet models seem to be using jet engines instead. They must have kept going with their research after the US abandoned its own project. Now they've finally overtaken us. You gotta give them credit for sticking with it. If you get spotted by an enemy riding a flying platform, they'll go into alert phase. The flying platforms themselves don't seem to be armed, but the pilots are carrying Scorpion submachine guns and grenades. The recoil on the Scorpion is low enough so that they should be able to fire one-handed in full auto mode. That gives them some serious firepower.
Do you want to save? Snake, have you ever seen the War of the Worlds?
No.
These flying saucers from Mars arrive on Earth disguised as meteorites. The saucers use their heat rays to attack the nearby towns. And then...
Something wrong?
The thing is, I was too scared to watch. I had my eyes shut almost the whole time.
Then you haven't seen it.
No, it's not that. It's based on a novel by H.G. Wells.
You haven't seen it, have you?
That does remind me, though. When I was 2 years old, my father listened to the radio drama version of the story. It was right after dinner on Sunday, and we were relaxing in the living room. They said monsters had come out of a meteorite that landed in New Jersey. It sounded just like a real live news broadcast. My father said he and my older brother actually believed it and started yelling and panicking. My mother supposedly grabbed me from my crib and took me out to the car, still wrapped up in blankets. But then, just as my dad was about to start the car, he realized that it was all just a radio drama. Because on the car's radio, they were playing Bing Crosby tunes. No matter what station he turned to, no one else seemed to be reporting on this big history-making news story.
Sounds like something out of the big broadcast.
Nobody said a word. We all went back to our rooms. My father and brother got off with a scolding from my mother, but I was the one who really suffered. After that incident, every time I acted up, my father and brother would scare me by saying, "The Martians are coming!"
That's terrible.
Isn't it, though?
I haven't seen the movie.
I saw it. So even nuclear weapons wouldn't work against the Martian war machines.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, Snake, if you conceal yourself like the Martians did, the enemy won't know what hit them.
Conceal myself.
Maybe not in a meteorite, but if you can hide yourself inside something a little more close at hand.
Close at hand.
something like a box.
Ah, I get it. So, you never saw the movie.
I saw it, all right?
Ah, pretty tasty. Ah.
Get your hands off me. I'm not going anywhere.
Really now? How many times must I tell you?
Tanya!
Each time you resist, your lover will suffer the consequences. Is that clear?
Vulcan. Damn you!
Hold it right there, traitor. Let's find out just how lucky you are. Watch closely. One of these 3 guns has a single bullet in it. I'm going to pull the trigger 6 times in a row. Are you ready? Looks like your luck hasn't run out yet.
There's no such thing as luck on the battlefield. You'd better stay in line from now on. The Cobras will take care of him.
Has the CIA dog been disposed of yet?
The pain is dead.
What? He may be a child, but he's definitely one of yours. I fear Khrushchev may have a hand in this. We have no time to lose. You must eliminate him before the final test.
Don't worry. They'll be able to handle it. I'm leaving him to you, the field.
The old man is always sleeping. Is he all right?
The end is saving what life he has left in him for battle. Normally, he's dead. But he'll wake up when the time is right. And when he does, it will be the end for the boy.
Yeah. Sokolov isn't worth your love. You can entertain me until the rain stops. Kuwabara, Kuwabara.
The sorrow, is that you?
This is HQ. Control here. We're being attacked. Enemy position unknown. Going into high alert. Acknowledged. Sending reinforcements. Use extra caution.
The enemy is close by. What's wrong? Where's he hiding? The enemy is close by.
Major, Sokolov's been hauled off.
Yes, they probably caught him trying to escape from the lab. Didn't Volgin say that they still needed to perform the final test?
Yeah.
Then Sokolov must have been taken back to the lab. Get to the lab and get Sokolov the hell out of there. Pass through that warehouse and you'll come out south of the lab. Make your way inside the warehouse. Watch out for enemy sentries.
I see you've caught yourself a big-eye trevally. The big-eye trevally is a type of mackerel. The adult fish lives around coral reefs, but the young can be found in freshwater areas such as estuaries and rivers.
Good to know. So, how do they taste?
The guidebook doesn't say.
Huh. Well, if they're a kind of mackerel, they should be okay to eat, right?
You'd think so, but...
But what?
Well, I've heard stories about people getting ciguatera poisoning after eating the adult fish.
Ciguatera poisoning?
Uh-huh. Fishes that live near coral reefs are sometimes contaminated with a poison known as ciguatera toxin. It apparently gives you food poisoning when you eat it.
So I can't eat those big-eyed trevally?
I don't know whether those trevally are contaminated with ciguatera or not, but use caution just in case.
Got yourself an AK-47, huh? The AK-47 is the official assault rifle of the Soviet Army. The first model was completed in 1946, and in 49, it beat out all its competitors to become the standard assault rifle of the Soviet military. It uses 7.62 millimeter by 39 rounds developed in 1943, and a 30-round box magazine originally designed for a different assault rifle. You can aim it from the shoulder by equipping it in first-person view and holding down the aim button. It's sturdy and extremely reliable with high power and precision. There's no better assault rifle in the world.
Saving the game, Snake? Okay, good luck, Snake.
Thanks. Pretty tasty.
Saving the game, Snake? Snake, have you ever seen For a Fistful of Dollars?
Nope, never.
It's a spaghetti western.
Spaghetti western?
It's really cool, especially the main character's stylish gunplay.
Gunplay?
I saw it in England on the Major's recommendation, but it hasn't come out in the States yet. It's so cool. They'll bring it to America, I'm sure. You have to see it sometime.
Sure.
Huh? The enemy's here.
This tastes great.
Snake, the lab where Sokolov is being held is to the north of that forest. Keep on heading north.
Snake, be careful when you approach the enemy. The closer you are to them, the more accurate their shots will be, and the more damage their weapons will do. That means you've got a greater chance of getting seriously wounded. Daring frontal assaults are not a good idea. But if you do get seriously injured, go into the survival viewer and treat it immediately.
There seem to be traps planted throughout that area, and they look a little primitive.
Yeah, but this is their territory. Why would they need this many traps here?
Maybe it's part of some kind of tactical research.
Tactical research?
Yeah. As I'm sure you know, the Soviet Union is leading a worldwide revolution among communist forces all over the globe. But a lot of the countries involved don't have the necessary funds and industrial technology, so they need tactics that are both effective and economical.
That's what they're researching?
Yeah, and traps are one of the best ways to do that. I'll bet that place is one of their testing grounds. Clappers, arrows, pendulums, all of these traps are set off by applying force to a rope. Don't touch the ropes and you'll be fine. Use rolling to get over them, or just crawl under them. Either way ought to work. If you do set off a trap and an arrow or a spiked pendulum comes flying your way, you can still dodge it by immediately diving out of the way. Pit traps and snares are camouflaged into the ground to make them harder to detect. But if you look carefully enough, you can see them through the disguise. Try stalking to proceed with extra caution. In any case, if you think there might be traps lying around, keep a close eye on the ground and stay alert.
Saving the game, Snake? Snake, have you seen the movie Them?
No.
It's about these giant ants that appear in the desert of New Mexico after a nuclear test. The army tries to fight them off with flamethrowers. The ants were so big that they filled up the entire screen. The whole movie theater was screaming.
An ant that big could make a good meal.
Yeah, well, if you find any, don't eat them.
Come on, they're not that bad for you.
If you end up growing huge like that, you won't have any place left to hide.
Just like a Gurlugon. Ah, that's tasty. Ah, what can I say?
Snake, that area is inhabited by European rabbits. The European rabbit is said to have come from the Mediterranean region originally, but nowadays they're found all over the world. They've been used since ancient times as a source of food, so it might be worth catching them. Rabbits are known to eat their own excrement.
They eat their own.
That's right. It's called cecal feces. When the rabbit eats fiber, the fiber is fermented in the rabbit's appendix, or cecum, and turned into a nutritious substance full of vitamins. The rabbit excretes this substance and then eats it again to absorb the nutrients.
That's a neat trick. I think I'll give it a try.
Snake, rabbits and humans don't work the...
I'm just kidding. You really thought I was going to eat it?
A little, yeah.
Even I wouldn't do that.
I guess not.
But how did those seagull feces taste?
What?
I'm just kidding.
Oh. Snake, there should be fly agaric mushrooms growing in that area. The fly agaric is a relative of the death cap mushroom that grows only in that region. You'll find it growing on the ground, but it's poisonous, so if you pick one up, don't eat it. If you do eat one, go into the survival viewer immediately and use Cure to take some antidote. The poisons found in the fly agaric include phallotoxins and amatoxins. It says here that when you eat it, the initial symptoms include nausea, stomach pain, and diarrhea. Finally, your liver and kidneys will break down into a sponge-like substance and you die.
Sounds like a horrible way to die.
Isn't it?
Yeah. So how does it taste?
Huh?
How does it...
Were you listening to me? The fly agaric is poisonous.
I heard you, but if I did eat it, it might taste good, right?
I give up. Snake, that area is inhabited by the green tree python. The green tree python isn't venomous, so no need to worry. It's fairly docile, too, so I don't think it's likely to attack you. That area is home to the reticulated python.
Ah, ah, can't complain. Hey, this worked. Ah, pretty tasty.
Snake, have you been caught in a snare trap?
Yeah,
If you don't get down from there soon, the enemy might spot you.
I know that.
Then why don't you get yourself down?
How am I supposed to do that?
It should be obvious. If you get caught in a snare trap, press the action button. That will allow you to cut the rope. Hurry and free yourself before the enemy comes around. Snake, watch out. It seems that forest is rigged with a number of traps.
Yeah, I noticed.
Most of the traps seem to be triggered by tripping a rope stretched across the ground. Don't just run around like a fool. Keep an Some ropes may be placed so they're hidden in the vegetation. Be extra careful when you're cutting through the underbrush. If you use the directional buttons to move around stalking, you should be able to spot the traps before you step on them. Use stalking to move safely through suspicious-looking areas.
Some types of food spoil.
Tell me something, Sigint.
What's that?
What does Sigint mean, anyway?
It's short for signal intelligence.
Signal intelligence?
The part of intelligence that deals with electronic information. Things like intercepting and analyzing electronic communications, determining enemy force strength and positioning from radar emissions and radio chatter. You get the idea. Code breaking is considered part of SIGINT as well. 40 years from now, we'll be in the age of electronic warfare. It won't be long before information replaces firepower as the most valuable commodity on the battlefield.
So you're saying they won't need guys like me anymore?
Sorry to break it to you, but that's not gonna happen. No matter how advanced our technology gets, there's still no substitute for human beings. Anyway, the Major is a man of foresight. He knew the electronic age was coming, and so he called out to me.
And you responded?
Well, I didn't have any place else to go.
You couldn't find a job?
Nope. None of the places where they do this kind of high-tech research would even let me in the door.
Why not? I know you've got social problems, but...
Come again?
Nothing. I mean, someone with your talent ought to be able to...
Yeah, well, maybe it has something to do with the fact that I'm black. The Major, though, he doesn't care about what color you are. I've never met anyone like him before. He's different, you know?
Oh, yeah, I know.
I don't think racism's gonna go away even in the 21st century. But I want to work with computers and use them to bring people closer together. In the digital world, it doesn't matter whether you're black or white, American or Russian or whatever. Everybody's gonna be the same. That's what I think.
Sokolov is inside the lab. Look for a way in and use it to infiltrate the lab.
That area is home to a small bird called the red avadavat. The red avadavat is a small bird native to southern China and Southeast Asia. This is its mating season, so the males ought to be a brilliant red color right now. If you want to catch one alive, use the tranquilizer gun. By catching one and then releasing it, you might be able to distract the enemy's attention.
I see. How do they taste?
The what?
The flavor.
You're not going to eat such a cute little bird, are you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Something bothering you?
No.
Okay then, so how about it?
How should I know?
Whenever you find a new weapon or piece of equipment, the first thing you do is drop it in your backpack, right? But you can't use your new goodies if they're just sitting in your backpack. To use a weapon...
Saving the game, Snake? Snake, have you ever seen Jason and the Argonauts?
I can't say I have.
It's based on Greek mythology. There's this ship called the Argo, and it sets sail in search of the Golden Fleece. Along the way, it encounters many dangers. They run into all kinds of monsters, like bronze giants and the deadly seven-headed Hydra and the vicious bird-like harpies. The most spectacular part of all was the battle scene with an army of skeletons. It was like they were actually standing up and fighting.
Are you serious?
If you don't believe me, go see it for yourself. Then you'll understand the magic of movies. It was totally amazing.
Yeah, all right. If I make it back alive, I'll go see it.
It just came out, so I'm sure it'll still be playing.